So we are actually not in Australia. Alex is from Australia, but we are actually in New York still. And Alex and I met approximately 7 years ago in Melbourne. And you had just started modeling.
Sure had.
Yes, and then the other day, I mean, what happened? Like, we just bumped into each other on a job in New York, and we were going like, hang on, we worked with each other before.
Yeah, and I suppose we took off where we left off, as giggling friends giving each other international advice.
Yes. So did I tell you that you should move to New York? Or what happened
okay.
exactly?
I think the meeting went a little bit like, you should really think about internationally modeling. And I was like, well, I'm at school and maybe I should do it. And sure enough, got on a plane, went overseas, and here I am today, and we're sharing coffee at my cafe in New York.
Exactly. 7 years later, you're not like really super successful as a model in New York. No, you have also with your boyfriend, that is, right?
Yeah, fiance now.
Oh yeah, well,
and,
congratulations.
yes, but 7 years ago we were boyfriend girlfriend. So yes.
Yeah, great. So you have opened now here in New York with your fiance 2 cafes.
We've actually expanded to 4. 5 started last week. Yes, and we have 7 by April. So we're very caffeinated.
Well, that's great for me because obviously I'm a big fan of Australian coffee.
Thank you.
Since I've found someone who does amazing Australian coffee, I'm a regular here obviously all the time. I mean, are you doing most of the work?
I do all the menus. I do a lot of the marketing. I'm doing.
And you have also designed those beautiful cups,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. So it's a play upon our own logo, which the heritage of Melbourne is it's very strong in the cafe and hospitality culture, which Nick and I really missed when we left home.
I'm not surprised.
Yes.
I mean, I must say it's very hard here in New York to find very good coffee. It really is.
Definitely.
And not just coffee, also food. I mean, as you know, I've said to you so many times before, the best food I've ever had in my life was in Australia.
Yes.
So,
well, I mean,
hello.
In my opinion, the Australian cuisine is actually quite simple, but it's very wholesome.
Yeah.
And it's very takes a lot of pride in the produce that it sources. So we basically keep to those aesthetics here. Yes, our coffee is very good. We actually fly in from Melbourne, so we're extremely authentic.
Whoa.
I think Qantas likes us. We've got our coffee has a lot of miles.
Oh wow!
But
And I mean, after like you just filling me in that you will be opening 7 cafes in April.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Qantas will like you.
Yes, absolutely.
All those coffee for those 7 cafes. Oh my God.
And yeah, so we're less than 2 years old, and we're number 2 on the New York best coffee list. In my opinion, we're number 1, but we're not as big as the people that are currently holding number 1.
Okay.
But that doesn't really matter so much to us as long as we keep to the aesthetics of what we believe that we're good at, and that is breakfast, coffee, and lunch, and hopefully a typical Aussie day, as you know very well. You start on a Saturday morning and you go for a walk or a jog or some sort of workout, come and meet your friends for brunch, have a beautiful coffee, most likely a flat white, followed by a wholesome brunch that's involved with fresh produce, and then you're off for your day, normally organising your outfit and your beauty looks for your Saturday night.
Wow.
Welcome to Australia.
Doesn't that sound like a really beauty day, right? Like good food, like a little bit workout, and then like a stroll in the sun. I mean, that's a perfect day, right?
Well, I mean, absolutely. Beauty comes as a global umbrella, and when you look at it, I've done many study with biomedical science and a master's in nutrition into the health and wellness field. So it's all very well for someone to focus on their fitness and their exercise, which is a passion of mine. However, in the scope of life, it's actually only counts really 20 to 30% of the importance. The food and your routine is 70 to 80% important. I mean, it makes sense. If you're putting the wrong petrol in a car, how was it meant to, go? Which I know is a silly analogy, but what you put into your body, what you use on your body, is basically the output of how you look, how you feel, and how you conduct yourself.
And how beautiful your hair and your skin is.
100%.
Everything.
Yes.
Right?
And
like how you feel about yourself, what you actually, kind of like glow.
Yes.
Like if you actually do glow or not. Sorry.
Yes. No, absolutely. And I suppose I lived by example. I did have some two quite bad medical conditions at my younger 20s, and it really damaged my hair and things like this. And I am a little bit against medications.
Yeah.
So I really went to the root cause and started. Yes, it takes longer when you do it the natural way, but I really worked on my diet. I really started to study, and that's where my passion fell. And I got myself back to feeling happy, healthy, and hopefully glowing. And so passing on that ability, like not that I'm trying to push it onto people through the company, but give them an option to experience a really wholesome breakfast or a lunch. That's what we're trying to do here.
So Alex, tell me, you are obviously a beautiful model. A lot of girls, I think, have still kind of, the thought that they can't eat in order to be beautiful. What is your point of view on that?
Right. So eating there's lots of pros and cons towards it, particularly in the industry. There's a lot of girls that feel like they should not be eating in order to stay skinny and those sorts of things. So metabolism works against you if you take that route, because basically your metabolism slows down if you are putting yourself into a sense of starvation. So what ultimately comes down to is what you're putting in your body, when you're putting it in your body, and how much. So portion control, times of day. I'm a big believer, when possible, to have dinner very early, so it gives your body a time to digest before going to bed at night. I'm a big believer in having protein at lunch, trying to keep dinner on a more vegetarian basis. Start the day slowly in regards to like a lemon water or a green juice or a green powder or something. Then follow up with breakfast at say 9, something like that, because I don't like to work out in a full stomach. But it's also learning, it's an education within yourself of knowing what works for you and what doesn't. But in the modeling world, I know this sounds like a silly expression to use, but there's an element called skinny fat. It's wrong to say, but that's a girl that doesn't like to eat or avoids eating, and they're not necessarily in shape, and you can see it so much in the likes of the skin and the hair and the nails, because they're your most external elements that are really affected by the nourishment that your body gets.
Exactly. And that's why I really wanted to talk to you, because remember when we shot together?
Yes.
Your body was just so in shape, and everything about you is just so amazing. Like your beautiful hair, your beautiful skin, your body tone, like everything about you is so healthy. But at the same time, I would assume, as everyone would love to look like. So I really want to get all the little tips and tricks from you I can. Because obviously I would love to use that for myself.
Absolutely. Well, okay, so let's start from the basis. When it comes to the fitness side of things, I'm a big believer in mixing it up. So not only does that reduce the ability of boredom, it just means that you've got a nice rounding of strength training, stretching, running. So you've got your sweat, your calm, and your stretch. Basically, they're my S's that I stick to, and I like to mix them up throughout the week. Because ultimately, there's days when you wake up and you think, I can't be bothered going for my 4-mile run. So that day, I may take up a yoga class, or I may do Pilates or something like that. I do work out at least 5 times a week in some sense. Some of that is even just stretching, but that works for me because my workout is quite meditative, and I have a lot on my plate a lot of the time. So
with seven cafes,
exactly.
So. And then obviously your jobs as a model as well. Oh my god.
So I really do. I'm a big believer in carving out your own time in the day. And for me, that exercise is my own time, and I really mean it. Like even when I go to the gym, if I do happen to go with my fiance or something like that, I'm sort of like, do your own thing. everything. Like this is, this is my world, and
This is my time.
Yeah.
This is me time.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's very special and very important.
Yeah.
In regards to, so foam rolling is very important if you know what that is. And that
I actually don't.
Okay,
What is that?
so a foam roller is basically a piece of plastic or foam that's in a pipe. You see them a lot like at gyms.
Okay.
And it's an element that helps with the stretching. So you actually roll over it, particularly on your legs and like through your arms, that sort of thing. And it really promotes like long, lean muscle when you're stretching.
Yeah.
It hurts a lot because you have a lot of tight muscles often.
Okay.
But I learned a lot of that when I was doing my Pilates instructor training. So
So you also are
Yeah.
Pilates instructor trainer.
so I
Can you
finished
teach me?
Yes, we can definitely do a class. So I completed that in, I want to say maybe July last year.
Yeah.
And that was a really great element to add to my own training because it's all self-resistance.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that's what women don't need to lift too many weights by any means.
Yeah, because we don't want to bulk up too much, right?
No.
We just want to like have a toned body,
Yes.
but not too much muscle.
Yeah, there's a great amount of exercise you can do of your own body weight.
Yeah.
And additionally, resistant bands, which are little elastic bands. Some are in the shape of a large circle, some are a little bit longer. Amazing to travel with. Like they're always in my suitcase when I'm going on jobs.
Okay.
And you can do things like that around, a pool or in your hotel room and things like that. And so you can only pull them as much as you're able to. So once again, it's your own resistance and your own weight.
Wow.
Which is
So
really important.
training with your own body weight.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because I've just recently been talking about it now. I was really interested in finding out how that works.
Yes.
That sounds to me very very clever, right?
Yeah.
Because, but like I'm traveling, I think at least as much as what you're
Absolutely.
doing. So for me, to carry like weights and all that fitness gear with me in my suitcase,
it's ultimately impossible.
Yeah,
When you're a premium makeup artist like yourself, you poor people, you hardly forget a t-shirt for yourself. Yeah, the resistant bands. I mean, if we spoke about my favorite fitness tools to travel with, I would say a skipping rope, a resistant band, and obviously like your shoes of some kind. But yeah, they would be my three go-tos.
And that obviously always fits easily in the suitcase.
Absolutely.
By what you've just been telling us, Alex, I really think what we should do to share your secrets, but in a more detailed way. So why don't we in the future plan on, getting to know your cooking secrets, getting to know your train secrets, and even produce a little series of tutorials how you actually keep healthy and beautiful, and obviously also
healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
healthy.
absolutely love to.
think,
Morning routines, exercise,
exactly.
and carving out that particular time of the day that's yours as well, which I think is really important. Particularly as a woman, I do find as the older I get that we give so much of ourselves to others, whether it's our partner, our friends, everything else, and we sort of, we leave ourselves out a little bit. At the end of the day,
very quickly,
we're quite exhausted, and you think, I didn't do that for myself. And I do, even when you're, lucky enough to have children or something like that, you're constantly thinking of them, or you're constantly thinking of the next thing. But when do you take that time to think of yourself? And for me, at the moment, it's when I'm exercising, but it can be whenever. It can be simply cooking dinner that is your, low time, or doing your own makeup or something like that. Like very, it's nourishing for the soul.
Yeah, and I mean, nourishing for the soul, excuse me, that's obviously what it is really about, right? Like, it's not just how do you actually look beautiful from the outside by putting on makeup or putting on a beautiful outfit, or, kind of like doing up your hair.
Yes.
No, it's more about that you actually glow and shine from the inside, and that obviously comes with exercise, with the right food, with, taking your little, down times for yourself.
Yeah.
And, now I'm not surprised anymore, that I'm so inspired by you, Alex. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best with your cafes.
Great, thanks.
Well, I'm definitely already a regular.
Yes.
I love the food. Bring it on.
Another flat white, please.
Yes, exactly. Another flat white.